We are Gathering of the Geeks, a podcast and YouTube show built around the things we as geeks all love. Hashtag we gather on Sundays. Thank you for checking out the one on the first Sunday of the NFL season. I'm one of your hosts, Emmet. I'm joined by the Ted Lasso to my coach Beard, Chris Evans. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing. How are you?
I'm all right. It was my anniversary and my wife's birthday today, so I
Oh,
ate
really?
way too much and I drank way too much. So I'm very tired and like sluggish right now. It's like it got around to be like 7 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I could go to bed right now.
Are you in slow motion right now?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Exactly.
All right, cool. Well, happy birthday to her. And happy
Yeah.
anniversary to y'all.
Yeah, thanks. You just get so bogged down eating all day. Like I usually don't eat a big lunch, but if I do eat a big lunch, then we don't eat supper, and we'll like kind of have snacks for supper. But it's like, oh, so much eating today. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I usually eat once a day. Most of the time.
And then kind of snack throughout the day.
No, I don't snack. I just eat the once then.
Oh, we're grazers in our family. We just graze all day. It's just
No, I don't. But I also stress eat, which that caused my weight to fluctuate quite a bit. But on a normal day where I'm healthy, I eat once a day and I'm good.
What about breakfast? Are you a big breakfast guy?
No, I usually don't have time for breakfast. I like breakfast. I just don't stop to
coffee though. Are you a coffee guy? Is that
I've developed a love for shitty iced coffee.
Yeah.
So I'll just get like a McDonald's iced coffee on my way out wherever I'm going.
Right.
And I'm usually good till 7 or 8 o'clock.
I always confuse people when they say, "Oh, you want some coffee?" I'm like, "I don't drink coffee." And people are like, "Well, how do you function in the morning?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just drink water."
What the hell is supper?
Yeah. Supper, dinner.
Yeah, dinner.
All of those things.
Grab says once a day isn't healthy unless you're eating 2 cakes. Yeah, I guess I meant mentally healthy or not stressed that day.
I was going to say, Grabs, if you're looking for healthy individuals, we are not those people.
No. Although I will probably twice today because I didn't have caffeinated earlier, but we'll see. Yes, this is the one about eating. Second breakfast. That's how I feel sometimes. Coffee is first breakfast for me. Then if I eat something afterwards, second breakfast. Bill says coffee equals my life.
Coffee.
I never realized how big of a deal coffee is. Do you like coffee?
I like the smell of coffee, but I do not like the taste of it.
So I agree with you. That's why I drink the crappy one from McDonald's, the iced coffee, because most of the time it doesn't taste like coffee. Right. It tastes like milk and God knows what else Ronald puts in it. And that kind
Ronald don't know shit about coffee.
No, but neither do I. So that's why we're together. And plus, I use the app and it's only $1 every day, so that helps too.
Perfect.
It's a good time. Keeps me focused.
Yeah, that's right. Gathering of the Geeks is available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Just search Gathering of the Geeks and you will find us. What's up, Zeddy, Eric, Phil, Grabs, Ian? How's everybody on this fine Sunday evening? Cookie, how are you as well? Chris, what'd you get up to over the last couple of weeks? Obviously, we're on our bi-weekly schedule as per usual.
It seems to just happen that way.
Yeah, it seems.
I think eventually we'll just embrace the idea that it's bi-weekly.
It's possible.
We might.
At least for the summer, maybe now that summer's over and the kids are back to school, maybe we'll be a little more regular, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Summer is a thing. Everybody's busy. Everybody's doing stuff.
100%. Yeah.
I just look at the window and say, I'm done. It's too hot. I don't think I've read much at all in the last 2 weeks.
You're taking a break after reading 7,000 Night Terror books.
Kind of. Which it was disappointing to me. I mean, did we talk about that? I don't remember.
We didn't. That was last weekend ended, and we didn't have the show last week. So
okay, so then that's what I would probably want to highlight. I finished Night Terrors, and I did read 7,000 issues, and I missed a couple tie-ins at that. But I read it. I enjoyed most of it. The thing with a lot of events, we talk about events quite a bit, and you and I generally don't like events.
Nope.
We usually sit them out, but somehow or another, I just get in them, even though I don't want to. I just have
to. They suck in.
They do. Like I'll read one issue, I'll see a cover, it's like I need to read this whole thing, and that's what happened. So I think out of the four I think it was 4 or 5 minutes. I don't remember anymore. There's so much. I like most of it, but the thing with events for me is that they lose their steam because it
Yeah.
feels like the writers are always rushing toward an end that nobody was expecting. Like you don't expect it to go that quickly, even though it is X amount of issues. And
Hmm.
so they linger on in the earlier parts, kind of hooking you with the story and all this cool stuff. And then, toward the end, it's just a rush. And that's what
Hmm.
happened with Night Terrors for me. I do think the final point of it was very cool. And I'm very excited to see the consequences of that throughout the DC universe.
Hmm.
Um, but like the way they dealt with the main villain, Insomnia, and just the lead up to that was not for me, I guess.
Hmm.
Not my
Yeah, it
favorite
feels
thing.
like yeah. Sometimes on the events where they're, this one was 2 months. I think most of them are 2 months.
Yeah,
Lately,
lately.
anyways, it feels like I remember Future State was January, February, I think.
Hmm.
Uh, Fear State, I think, was another just kind of a short one, and then yeah, they usually do a 2 month thing, and it does feel like they have to rush it, and also it almost feels like they should rather just do like a unlimited series. Do 10 issues instead of doing 6,000 tie-ins and then like 4 in the main line. Like keep the story more, I don't know, succinct, or one straight like through line instead of going all over the place and then saying, oh wait, we got to end this now, right? It feels like, I agree about the rushing thing for sure.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the tie-ins, I always complain about tie-ins, but again, I read them. And this time the tie-ins were really good. I
Yeah.
can't even complain on this story. Yeah, I mean, not all of them were great. Like, I wasn't a fan of the Joker tie-in. A
Hmm.
lot of people were. I just thought it was silly. The basis of it is that the Joker's nightmare is he's leading a mundane life, working in an office.
Hmm.
So you just kind of see him interact, like imagine the office where the Joker is Andy or something.
I was gonna say, which one is he?
He'd probably be Andy if I had to guess. He's not Jim or any of the more popular guys. So,
Hmm.
but that was it. I was kind of let down by that. I expected more.
Hmm.
I read that, and
Well,
of
it
course,
ended
I
with
did read
a
the Joker baby.
yeah. Well, and Night Terrors did end with a pretty big bang too, right? With the what is it, Doctor Hate,
Was it a
or
big
whatever.
bang?
Well, I think that's what they tried to do, and it
That's
didn't
what they
work. And
tried to do. I mean,
yeah,
for some people, it was like, "Oh my God, this is the
yeah,
greatest thing ever," and that's cool. I'm happy for you.
hmm, yeah.
But for me, it was like, "This is it."
Fair enough.
Now you want me to read Titans number
Yeah, that's what I'm.
7?
I'm really worried about this Beast thing that they're doing. I don't know what that
Yeah,
is.
Beast. I don't either. I'm
I look
not
into it
really
more.
familiar with it. I don't love the Titans or Teen Titans.
Hmm.
I like the characters individually, but
Hmm.
I don't know if I like them as a team because I've just
Right.
never read it.
Sure.
I like Young Justice, the show,
Hmm.
and Teen Titans Go is funny.
Maybe you'll have to give it a shot. I think Tom Taylor's writing the
Oh, is
Teen
it?
Titans
Okay,
book
see,
now.
it's
Not the
it's
not the Beast thing, but the Teen Titans book that there is now.
it's
I
stuff
think
like
they're
that sucks me
going
into these events and things.
on.
You give me a writer, an artist, or just how just the cover. I'm happy.
That's right.
Just give me a cool. I actually bought. Funny. I bought this Devil's Cut book that everybody was going nuts about.
Right, yeah. Hmm.
Beautiful cover, cool stuff inside. I haven't read it still.
Good. I'm
It,
getting mine this week, so maybe we can wait on that.
Mine, it's inching toward the cubby hole in the desk.
Oh
You know the
no.
one. It's getting closer and closer. But
Yeah,
that was my read.
I was looking at new solicits that are coming out, and there's a story in that Devil's Cut by Jock that's
Hmm.
going to be a regular series.
Cool.
So I'm interested
Well,
to eventually get mine and then read it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I believe it is supposed to be like Spawn Universe.
yeah, yeah. You had mentioned that when we were talking about it
Hmm.
a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't really had no idea what it was. And I think they're all the bigger format too, which is always good for me. So I look
I like
forward to
that.
that for sure. Oh, and you read Joker Baby. Did you get the? I know that the physicals were coming out.
Are they?
Yeah, I think the physicals are out of Joker Baby. You should see if your shop has them. Is it
Someone.
is it done now? Did you finish them up?
No, I think it's still going. Someone asked me about it. I think it was yesterday. I told them it's not a good book. I know that. It's entertaining. It's so wacky. I have to read this to see what are they even doing here.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even written like the Joker as we know him. It's just a
Something
dude, and
totally different.
it's like watching Joker. If Arthur Fleck had a baby, that's what it is.
Now you're talking.
I might have sold it the wrong way then.
Yeah.
I want to get to some of these comments before we get too far behind.
Yeah.
Back to the coffee thing. Grab says he has 1 cup of coffee, but I have a new coffee maker coming tomorrow that makes iced coffee as well. I'm really excited for it. That is a slippery slope. I think I do have that, but I don't know how to use the machine.
Yeah.
I never put the time to it. Phil says embrace the 2-week madness. We might have to. Grab says I have 3 more issues of Human Targetry, but I finished Lord of the Rings book this week. Yeah, I think I saw Grab's too, but I was scrolling on the Gathering of the Geeks Twitter, and sometimes I don't I don't have I just don't stop to read a lot. I just kind of scroll. But I meant to circle back and I forgot. So how did you like the books?
Yeah, he was doing the audiobooks of those too.
Mm-hmm. It sounded I'd like to do that too because I'm curious how they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I could sit there to read that much.
Yeah.
I just don't read novels anymore. I was talking about that with our buddy Phil Walsh the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Ian says, after being away, I caught up on a load of stuff except comics. Mutant Mayhem is amazing. I agree. Barbie is meh. Didn't see it. Ahsoka's top tier Star Wars. Agreed. Only Murders is meh. And Adventure Superman is so good. What's your rundown of those? I think I know most of them. But
You like Mutant Mayhem more than I did.
Mhm.
Haven't seen Barbie.
Mhm.
Ahsoka is great. The last episode of Only Murders is meh, but I like the show more than that. And I haven't seen Adventures of Superman.
Mutant Mayhem was terrible for grabs. Eric's glad you chose not to read Night Terrors. Well, Night Terrors is glad you chose not to read it too. Ian said, I read the new Birds of Prey, which I really enjoyed, and Swan Songs keep dropping bangers. I keep forgetting those are coming out. I need to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Grab says the first issue of Titans was good. Trade waiting the first volume, though. Ian has also not read his book. Yeah, I mean, it's intimidating. It's large format. It looks pretty. I'll get to it eventually. He went with Jock's cover. Grabs does not read new comics until I read what I have. Too many books I have not read to justifying buying them every month. I agree with that.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I need to stop. The Force is strong with Ahsoka. I agree. And Grabs love the books. It's taken over my fandom. I love to hear that. What'd you read?
I read Swan Songs, issue number 3, that came out last week. I think it was. I can't remember. Maybe it was the week before.
Okay.
This one was drawn by the artist from Layla Starr, Felipe Andrade. I can't remember.
I'm not going to
Yeah. We didn't talk about issue number 2, but you sound like you didn't read that either.
Didn't know it came out.
That was the one drawn by Casper Widgen or Wingard. I think it's Wingard. Yeah. Anyway, so issue number 2 was about a marriage that ends, and then issue number 3 is actually a beginning of something based off the issue number 1. So issue number 1 has the nuclear holocaust. Yeah, and then issue number 3 picks up where that one kind of ends multiple years later. A little bit of a Adam and Eve story. Well, not a little bit, very much an Adam and Eve story. The characters' name are Evan and Adelaide, I think. It's great. I love the series so far. 3 issues in, but it made me. And it's interesting. We talked about night terrors. How events suck. How there's just so much and so much and so much. But then Maxwell Prince, who is the creator of Swan Songs and of Ice Cream Man, how they make single issues. It's not one long story. It's like each issue is its own thing. It's just a giant anthology series. Pretty much everything that he does with Ice Cream Man. It's got a little bit of crossover, and then with Swan Songs as well. You can read each one, not having read the other ones, and it just makes reading the comics and reading comics in general very enjoyable. At the point where, and especially we're coming to the end of the summer, and we were just talking about how we're having trouble staying on a weekly schedule. When you have so much to do and you just want to sit down and maybe you don't have something to watch on TV and you don't want to get into an event or a 12 issue comic or whatever like that. It's like, oh, I can read Maxwell Prince stuff because because it's single issues that don't connect too much to anything else. It makes reading comics so much more enjoyable to me. It's nice. I always talk about the DC Black Label or bigger books like Devil's Cut, where they're not as long drawn out, but there's more material in the book, so you get more, more bang for your buck, as it were. It's just that format of reading comics where everything's not tied to one another. And there's not a big drawn out everything, and that's what I was talking about again, connecting this to my Jeff Lemire with his Tenement books. I just want to read it when it's over. I can't. I don't want the deal of reading it every month, and because I have to remember what happened the time before and what's coming next. She's like, I'll read it when it's done. So I get what Grab's talking about. You like there's no right or wrong way to read a comic book, but man, I'm liking comic books that are not tied to anything and much more standalone and easier to pick up and then drop and then forget about for a few weeks and then just pick up again whenever you're ready. And that's what Swan Songs is, I think. And it makes me want to get back into Ice Cream Man as well. So yeah, that's pretty much all I read this week.
I think it's a great topic though too, because for me it kind of depends on my scheduling at that time. But as a whole, I really do think we should have more comics that don't require you to do all this homework and these memory games.
Yeah, memory games are the worst.
Right, because sometimes we'll read you read a comic and it's 5 issues in, and they want you to remember a line of dialogue from the first issue in the second panel of the third page.
That's right.
It's like, I don't have time for this. I don't need to know what the Joker told the Penguin at that time. I don't remember it. So I'm with you. I like reading comics where you don't have to have that. And then there's time to read comics where it is like that too. It just whatever your mood is. It's nice to have the variety though. At the end of the day, I like.
Yeah, for sure. And even like reading like a Batman inline, like if you wanted to read the Zdarsky one.
Yeah.
You don't need to know what happened before with the Tynion run and the Josh Williamson one, but there's seeds in the Zdarsky one that help that. And that's even the seeds I don't want to see. Like, I don't want to hear about, stuff that happened in the Tynion run. Like, oh, Bruce doesn't have any money. I don't care. Just give me a standalone Batman story where Batman's doing Batman things. I don't need the big stuff. So like the DC Black Label stuff, that's I'm more in line with that stuff. Like I haven't read a bunch of Zdarsky lately in the Batman one, just because it seems like it's more work than my enjoyment will get out of it. But like something like Batman, that Gargoyle one, what's that one called? Gates of Gargoyle or
what Gargoyle of Gotham? I don't remember what's
Gargoyle of Gotham. Yeah, that one's out. That one's out this coming week.
I might actually buy that in print, but that probably means I won't read it. So
yeah, that's one that I read as soon as I could when I got an advance copy of that one, and I read that one as soon as I could because I knew I didn't have to do anything before it. I didn't have to know anything. And that's what gets me excited about, either it's indie comics or even, big two ones, DC or Marvel. I don't want to do that homework. Maybe that's just a lazy way of reading, and I don't really care. But it's just I'm looking for more enjoyment rather than homework. We hate homework, so
don't like it. Not a fan. I will say though, for me, homework watching movies is easier than, for whatever reason, reading comics.
For sure. 100%.
I could watch 10 movies in a row as homework.
That's right.
Even if I don't like the movie, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Which I've done.
Yeah.
I sat through some crap. Grabs hasn't loved or disliked Ahsoka. It's been entertaining, which is what I want with TV. Fair enough. Eric caught The Nun 2, enjoyed it, though it wasn't as good as the first film or The Conjuring 2. Are you interested in The Nun?
My daughter is. We watched the first one maybe a year or two ago. I didn't like it that much, but
I heard the first one's not too good.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that good, but I assume we'll check The Nun out when it's or The Nun 2 when it's aired on streaming or digital somewhere.
I'm all for Demonic Nuns. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Bill is past mode doing homework.
Attaboy.
Eric would like to see King or Tamaki do a standalone Black Label run. I mean, King stuff kind of is a Black Label run without saying it's a Black Label run.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd rather see Tomasi come back, because I think Tomasi's detective run is one I will always champion, because it's exactly what we're talking about. There really wasn't a lot of continuity. You just had to follow his run, and only some issues had more than one part. My favorite issue is still that Joker one. That was fantastic.
I think that was released. The omnibus of
It was.
that run was in last week or so.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been exciting for peeps of fans of that run for sure.
Yeah. Grab says, I use comics to get away from homework in school. 30 years later, I'm not doing homework for comics. There you go.
That's perfect.
If we get that on a T-shirt and sell it, we'll
Yeah. 100%.
Did you watch anything?
Yeah. So I've been watching Band of Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of things I can just watch nonstop and instead of reading things, I've been watching and binging Band of Brothers for the last week or so. I've got one episode of the final season left, and it got reminded me that I haven't seen the Pacific, which is like the brother of Band of Brothers, where instead of in Germany, it goes to the South Pacific, deals with the war with Japan.
Is it same team behind it?
I think it's still, I think Spielberg and Tom Hanks both produced it still, but I don't know about it. I don't know when it actually was released. I don't know if Band of Brothers came first and then the Pacific came afterwards, and how long the distance was. But it just reminded me that I never watched the Pacific, and this is already the third time that I've been watching Band of Brothers. It's just, it's always so funny seeing actors before they were big name stars in Band of Brothers, like everyone before they were anyone. James McAvoy, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jimmy Fallon's in it, Tom Hardy's in it. Yeah, like before they were people, before they were big name actors, they were in Band of Brothers. Yeah. Exactly. Fassbender, he has, he's like the cast is like 30 guys. And they rotate and they die and they bring in new ones and they're, and Tom Hardy looks like he's 12 years old. It's really strange.
So this is one of those times where I think I know what something is and I'm way off. I thought Band of Brothers was a like mockumentary, not a mockumentary, like not like it was funny, but it was like a documentary that they like a war documentary kind of thing.
Yeah, no,
and they have actors playing the parts of people. That's what I thought it was.
No, it's not a documentary. It's just a regular TV show. It intercuts live interviews with the actual
so I wasn't
people who were in the war. So I could get how you could get that confused, but you're still not close.
I think it was close. There's interviews.
Yeah,
and there's people playing the people.
You're right. It's about Easy Company in World War II, which were air battalion. So it follows them from training, like whatever we call it, base training or training camp or whatever, before they got into the war, and then all the way up until the end of World War II in Germany and Europe, following this one company. It's very good. Very good. I know you're not into war stuff, but it's very well made, very well acted. And I don't know. Have you seen Saving Private Ryan? I don't know if you saw that or not. Did you see Saving Private Ryan?
I have not, and I don't have anywhere I could hide right now.
Okay. I know. I kind of knew that you did, but it's in the same vein as that. So, yeah, there you go. The Pacific is everyone still like that. So.
It's when Harry Met Sally World War II shows.
I don't get that reference.
I would watch that though, especially if it's Billy Crystal in a World War II outfit. I'm in.
That would be funny, actually.
I would watch it. Cookie is a fan of the Pacific.
Okay, so I'm going to get to that as soon as I finish Band of Brothers, which I'll finish that tonight. The other thing that I watched was Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Oh, what did you think about
it? Finally caught that. The first 20 minutes of the movie I didn't like, and the last 20 minutes of the movie I didn't like. Everything in between I thought was very good, and I enjoyed it very much. I liked the inclusion of what's her name? Shit. What's her name?
Fleabag.
Yeah, from Fleabag. What's the Fleabag girl's name?
I was going to say Florence Pugh, and I know it's not Florence Pugh.
Yeah. Somebody will put it out there. Anyway, she's very good as she's playing Indy's goddaughter. I like that storyline. I like the action is very good. There's a particular action scene. It's like a chase scene, which is very good. But Harrison Ford is too old. It's and I get it would have been the story of Dial of Destiny would have been great 30 years ago without the old retired, grumpy, aging
There it is.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Thank you. You were close with the P. I get you.
I said Phoebe, but then I thought of Marvelous Miss Maisel, and I thought I was confusing the two. But
that's right. That's yeah.
It's
yeah.
Phoebe
So I
Waller.
wish the movie was made 30 years ago with a younger Harrison Ford. I think it would have worked much better. What's his name from Logan is very good as he always is. What's his name?
Boyd Holbrook.
Yeah, he's very good. I love Boyd Holbrook. He's very good in it. Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen as the main bad is good and creepy and bad as he always is. But yeah, so the first 20 minutes is the de-aged Indiana Jones back in World War II. It's a lot of it, and they don't hide from it, and it's very noticeable. You know, we made this joke when we were talking about Ahsoka, how Disney loves to CGI their characters' faces, and they definitely don't hide from it in Dial of Destiny. And then the last 20 minutes are utterly ridiculous and beyond anything that I even expected, even after seeing Aliens in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, so it's just I didn't enjoy the ending at all. Like the ending, the last 5 minutes are great, but that 20 minutes of the actual climax of the movie it was just stupid. I didn't enjoy that at all. So the beginning, the end, which is usually pretty tough. Like if you had a bad start to a movie and then a bad end to the movie, usually you have a bad movie. But I liked, but the in between, I love the action, I love the archaeology and the the grave digging, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm glad I saw it though. I love Indiana Jones. What's that?
There's grave digging in this.
Well, that's what he does. Indiana Jones always digging up graves and getting into
I've only seen the Alien one and the first one.
Sure.
Ian says, I love her, but I didn't like what they did with her character at the start. She left Indy to die and was very selfish. Mm-hmm. I guess she redeemed herself in the end.
Yep.
Did you think she redeemed herself in the end?
Yeah, she did. Again, in a weird, by that ending, in the way that the movie ended in the climax and how she came to that realization and all that kind of stuff was stupid. But yeah, she did become an upstanding individual by the end of it.
I think part of the reason they used her in the movie was to possibly franchise, have her as the face of a franchise.
Sure.
Would that be something you'd want to see?
Oh, I'd take her in a movie for sure. Her short round I didn't like if you've seen Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones has a short round, which anyways, it's a sidekick. I didn't enjoy her
everything everywhere at once.
That's right. Yeah. So I didn't enjoy her sidekick, but I think she could definitely do a movie for sure. And I was surprised about, when you think about Fleabag and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, action is not something you would see from her, but she gets right into it. Doing all the indie action stuff, which is really good. So, and all of the movies have very high, Indy's always got a female to deal with, whether it's a love interest or not, like Marion. And then what's her name in the second one? I can't remember her name. Steven Spielberg's real wife. Yeah. And then in Last Crusade, there's the German Nazi that he falls in love with. And then 4, they bring back Marion again. So there's always been some kind of female lead in all of these movies. And I think Phoebe Waller-Bridge does a good enough job for sure.
Nice. Phil says, I'll be blunt, I thought it was terrible.
For sure. And I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that. A lot of people just didn't like it. But I'm sort of interested. Grab says, Phil, I haven't liked Indiana Jones movie since Raiders. Ian says, talking of Holbrook, I recently finished Justified Primeval, possibly my least favorite season, but still good fun and a super cool ending for fans. I need to finish that. I liked what I saw of them though, but I think Boyd Holbrook is one of the best villain actors we have today.
He plays that villain that I like, where he's not, I'm mean and I'm angry and I'm a villain. Like he's got a certain attitude that he deals with, especially in Logan. Like he's very cool, calm.
Yeah.
The way he talks to Laura, I love that. I like that
idea. It's great. Yeah. And he really, it's funny because they tried to make him, heroic in that Predator movie.
Right.
And it was just god awful, I think. But that's probably the only performance of his I don't like. Eric likes Last Crusade. Bill says that's fair grabs. I've got a soft spot for Temple, but I agree Raiders is the gold standard. I think I need to rewatch that one. Ian says all indie movies are great. Crystal Skull is actually a good indie movie if you take out a few of the goofy moments. I feel it got more hate than it deserved. So, coming from someone who doesn't really care about these films, I'm not attached to them. I thought Crystal Skull was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only thing that bothered me, and not even to a level like I hate this, was Shia LaBeouf swinging from trees.
100%.
But I also just don't like Shia LaBeouf very much.
Yeah, the start of Crystal Skull is great. Like the
Yeah, that's
Area
cool
52
stuff.
the Cold War stuff, outstanding. Even when he
Mhm.
meets Shia and they're doing like there's the college where they're driving the motorcycle through the
Yeah.
college, really good stuff. But as soon as they get to the jungle, it completely loses it for me with him swinging off the vines with the monkeys, and then the aliens. I thought it was dumb. I thought it was
Yeah.
dumb, 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 dumb.
So I saw that and was like, oh, okay, so this is what Indiana Jones is. Apparently I'm wrong.
No, it's more mystical and supernatural instead of
It's more
otherworldly.
Uncharted,
There you go.
which I think that's partially what Uncharted is based on anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Boyd is one of the best TV villains of all time. I agree. Watch Boyd in I didn't know he was in Narcos.
Yeah, he's very good in that.
Isn't Oscar Isaac, not Oscar Isaac, Pedro Pascal also in Narcos?
Yeah, he's his partner, I think.
Exactly as a jungle swing is ridiculous. I mean, there are more ridiculous things, but yeah, it's not good.
It just didn't do it for me.
This is not good.
Not at all. And it didn't help. Like Shia LaBeouf at the time, like he still felt like a young punk. Like he didn't feel like he had the gravitas or something to take over the franchise, which I think they were trying to do with him
I
originally.
think that was the idea, yeah.
Just
Well, because he had Transformers at the time. Everyone thought, oh, he's going to be
right.
the next big thing. Like, no, because they even put him in Wall Street too.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I love the first movie. The first movie is one of my favorite films of all time. I love Gordon Gekko. He's a fantastic character, and Charlie Sheen, of course, is great in it. And then so the sequel came. I was really excited. I heard he was in. I was like, oh, okay. And then you see, it's like, oh, he is in this, huh? It's not a bad movie, but he's not. It's not his movie. And it shows because he's surrounded by better actors, and I think that's a problem when you put someone who's not as good as the rest of them.
Yeah, you can tell. You can point it out and saying, "Oh, something's not right here."
Grab is absolutely right. National Treasure with Nick Cage is the best Indiana Jones movie. He says he's trolling, but this is a
Chris is taking that as gospel here, folks.
This is gospel. He might as well be singing to the sky or whatever people do. I don't know. It's the fridge. Now I'm just trolling. I don't know if Eric meant to say.
I think that's supposed to be LMAO.
Lamo. I like it better like this because we could say it ironically. Lamo, Wall Street is brilliant. Wall Street 2 is a whimper. Yeah, I could agree with that. It's too self-serious and it's too long. But it's got some good moments, particularly with Michael Douglas. Have you tried watching National Treasure recently? I tried, remembering a lot better than it actually is. No, I haven't seen it in a while. Have you seen that recently, Emmet?
No, I think I might have only seen it once.
I've seen it more than once, but not a lot. It's not one of my favorites, but I do enjoy it.
Was that one based in America? Like it's all about like the founding fathers or whatever, right? Is that one?
Yeah, that's the first one.
I like that idea of like even like the Dan Brown novels, like the Da Vinci Code. I like the idea, or not. It wasn't the Da Vinci. Oh, the Lost Symbol is the one that takes place in America. I think of those Dan Brown novels. But I like the idea of the history taking place in North America, rather than in like Indiana Jones is always in Germany or India or
we have history
Mexico.
too.
Sure, exactly. That's what I mean. That's why I like it taking place. So that's why I like the National Treasure one. It takes place and deals with Americans, North Americans. I like that idea.
Have you ever watched Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter or read the book?
No, no.
It's something.
It's right there.
It's something. Cookie says Shia is good when he's cast right. Big studios put him in odd roles. I would agree with that because I can't. It's not like I don't like anything he's in, but I think when you surround him with certain people, just like you said, odd roles. Speaking of, I guess, what are some of your favorite roles that Shia has done? Because now I'm curious.
Yeah, so I like Holes. Like when he was a kid.
I've not seen
the movie Holes. But then my favorite is Fury, the war movie with Brad Pitt and John. Yeah, Brad Pitt and John Bernthal and Michael Pena. He's great in that one. That's really the only thing that I've really ever really seen him in, other than Transformers ones. But I don't consider those Shia LaBeouf movies. I don't consider Fury a Shia LaBeouf movie, but he is a standout in that movie. So that's the one. That's the only one really I can think of his adult years. The whole he's
I like
just a kid.
Transformers.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think he's good in Transformers movies for what it is. I saw was it called Disturbia? I thought Disturbia was okay.
Oh yeah, the Rear Window kind of movie.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've seen some other stuff I didn't mind him in. Like Indiana Jones, I didn't mind him in. I don't love him, but I didn't mind him in. Peanut Butter Falcon is great. I haven't seen that. Lawless was great. Holes is good. Fury is easily his best. Eric agrees with Fury. Eric, I think, is asking me to rank all the Nicolas Cage movies.
Oh boy,
I think he's asking. I don't know.
That's a 2-hour show right there.
I'm ready. Phil said we did National Treasure 3 with Nick Cage. Even Stevens is his best role. I do like Even Stevens.
What's that? I don't know that one.
Oh, that's a Disney show he was on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was like a child. It was funny.
Oh, okay.
I love Lawless too. I don't think I've seen Lawless. So it seems like Lawless and Fury are
Lawless,
the favorites.
I never saw that one.
I might check after it. It's a war movie. Plus, I don't really enjoy David Ayer stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I love the cat. I love Brad Pitt and John Bernthal. So.
Yep,
we'll see.
That's all I watched. What'd you get up to? What'd you watch this last couple weeks?
A bunch of stuff.
Good.
Well,
I hope some good.
Well, I tried a few things. I watched the new Adam Sandler movie on Netflix. You Were So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah. Have you heard
I
of that?
didn't know this was a thing, first of all, and all of a sudden it's out. I didn't see a trailer for it. I didn't even know that this was happening. I thought the last one he did was that vacation one with Jennifer Aniston, and then
I think that just
another one.
Was that like within a couple of months too?
That's what I mean. I didn't know that they were so close here. Anyways, I saw a clip for it online. It's like, oh, okay, he's got another Netflix movie out.
He does, but he's not in it really. He's like barely in the movie.
Oh, weird.
It's actually like a coming of age story starring his daughter. And it's meant to be like a heartwarming, I might have said heartwarming just now, heartwarming thing. And it has more in common with like, it's kind of like Booksmart, but not raunchy, I guess.
Right.
In a way. I don't know. It wasn't really for me. I think it's more, it's for a different audience. It's not a bad movie, it just wasn't for me. I also expected Adam Sandler jumping in, yelling stuff.
Yeah.
That's not. I'll stick to Hubie Halloween. I watched Batman Forever, which everybody knows I love. I don't need to get into it. Everybody knows I love. Don't need to get into it, but it is wonderful. And I stand by my point that I tweeted earlier.
Oh, what was that? Didn't see that one.
I'm not saying Georgie deserved it. No. I'm not.
Jesus.
But let's think about this on a realistic level. If I'm a child, and I've been a child before, we all have been.
Wait, whoa. Hold the phone. You have?
That's there's pictures. There's pictures of me eating glue or something somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was going to say eating paint chips.
They're good. But hypothetically, you're a child, you're looking at a sewer drain, a clown appears out of nowhere in the drain, knows your name and stuff, starts talking to you. Why do you sit there? And then why do you put your arm in the drain? It makes no sense. I'm not picking on it. I love the movie. It's odd.
Do you like the second one as well?
I do, but not as much.
Yeah.
But also, it's been almost I've seen the second one. I've seen the first one more. So I'm looking forward. After this, I'm going to watch the second one.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I watched it in the theater and I didn't like it. So then I didn't revisit it. But I always tell myself, and this is always true, the more I watch something or when I watch it at home, I always feel better about it. So I should do the same. I should do the double feature. Yeah,
you'll have the expectations out of it too.
Yeah.
I love the story of it. And I also love the Tim Curry version. It is kind of a big deal for me. So when those movies come out, I was really into them.
Well, and the first one is so good. Like, it's great. Like, it's one of the better movies that I've seen, not just horror movies. It's one of the better movies that I've seen. I really, really enjoy that movie.
Really well done. Georgie never learned about Stranger Danger. Things are a little too loosey goosey and dairy, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Evil clowns in sewer drains. This is
Mhm.
cool, man. This is
Yeah,
life in dairy.
that's right.
Go ahead, stick your arm in, put your head in if you
Mhm.
want. Nothing will
I hope
happen.
they I hope they do make that TV show that was
I thought it was
announced.
filming the Welcome to Dairy
Oh
thing.
yeah, I just who knows what's going to happen to it, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Ooh, he prefers the original. I found the new one's too goofy.
Hmm,
Pennywise is pretty different. I think there's a big
sure.
difference between the two Pennywises. I do prefer Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise, but Tim Curry, his Pennywise is a different beast, and I agree with Phil here. He's terrifying. They're different. I think
Hmm,
that the new one isn't as scary in a way because he's got more personality, whereas
hmm.
Curry's is more just he's an evil looking clown.
I never saw the Tim Curry one.
Oh, really? It's
Hmm.
funny. They actually showed it to us in school, which I thought was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I was like
Oh,
9 years old, and they brought the TV in on the thing. Like, you
that's right.
guys are watching it today. Okay.
Uh-huh. Is it
Um,
is it like the first movie where it just deals with them as kids, or
mhm.
does it do
Same
the adult
format.
thing too?
No, same
Okay,
format. You get the
that's
first
interesting.
part, and it was intended as a miniseries. So I think it might be 3 hours total. I don't
Hmm,
remember, but yeah,
okay,
it deals with the kids first, and then just like the movies, it does the adults.
right.
It's a good watch, especially if you like the two new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Check out
Mm-hmm.
those ones. It's a good time.
I should.
But I watched it. The two movies that I really stood out to me though in these last 2 weeks. One of them they're wildly different. So
Hmm.
I want to frame it like this:
Preface.
wildly different.
Preface.
Yes, we need to get that out of the way. The first one was Strays, which if you've
Oh
seen the
right.
trailer, it's a bunch of foul-mouthed dogs. Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx lead the cast.
Hmm.
Um, and it's not like an Oscar winner, but what comedy is?
Sure.
It's foul mouthed dogs and it's hilarious.
Hmm.
What else do you need?
What else do you need?
I think it's only 90 minutes, so it's a quick watch and
Hmm.
it's just funny.
When the trailer came out for that one, for the first like 10, 20 seconds of the trailer, they played it off like it was like Homeward Bound. A
Yes.
nice wholesome. Does the movie do the same thing where it plays it off like that and then
No,
it
no.
switches right over?
Not plays it off. The movie is Homeward Bound, just with
Oh,
foul
okay.
mouthed animals.
Oh, okay.
That's basically what it is.
Okay, but from the start of the movie, do they play it off like it's a kids movie and then switch to the
Mm,
R-rated stuff, or is it R-rated off the start?
yeah, no, you know what you're watching as soon as it
Okay,
starts.
I was wondering if they do a trick like they did in the trailer.
No, I mean it doesn't start off like all completely wholesome, but you could tell that
Sure,
this isn't, you know,
sure.
this isn't for your kid.
I get it.
Just the language from the dogs is insane. And Jamie Foxx is the Boston Terrier Bug.
Hmm.
I would give him an Oscar of some sort. It's just a magical performance.
Nice.
Ian mentions the mushroom scene. This thing was nuts.
Is that the one with the human, like the human hands
Yeah,
or
is
whatever,
it
like
my
a sock
human
puppet?
head? But it was like a sock
Right.
puppet.
Yeah,
That's not even the craziest thing in that scene. It's
I can
amazing.
imagine.
Yeah. Why is a villain named Pennywise he should be my financial advisor? He says about it. I watched when I was a kid at my neighbor's house with a group of friends. It was a big event when it was televised. Yeah, it was a big event.
Nice.
Yeah, Strays is a good time. I don't know if it's for everybody. It's probably not.
Yeah,
But it was one of those where you just turn your brain off and watch these dogs curse each other
that makes sense.
and
That was
everything
the
else
selling
around
point
them.
for me whenever I'm going to see it, and just from the trailer, like it just looks like a ton of fun.
Yeah, I won't talk about it. There's a montage early on. I don't know how I was breathing afterward. So, on the other side of the spectrum, there's this movie I kept hearing about all year long. Bless you. I kept hearing about it all year long, and I never got to it until I was scrolling through Paramount Plus and I saw it was on there. It's called Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. It is an animated film from A24. And it is the sweetest, most wonderful movie you will watch all year.
Straight up a shell, eh?
He is an actual shell with shoes
Oh
on.
my god, he's got one little eye and little shoes.
Yes, and it's a kid. The shell is a child.
Okay.
A very soft-spoken child.
All right.
And I like it's so sweet. I love this movie.
Okay.
Uh,
Weird.
um, it's like a twig thing for me. So I just had an epiphany. I think I like just stuff like this,
You
and I
like
also
little
like
creatures,
Strays.
little cute creatures.
I do, and I like Strays. Who knew that?
Hmm.
But anyway, so it's kind of like a documentary with the shell, with Marcel. Someone is in his house, and they communicate. Um, Chaos does not ensue, just adventures, kind of, and you just learn more about Marcel the shell and his life, and his grandmother, who is also a shell, and his old shell.
Is there an explanation about why it's a shell, or are
No,
we
we just
we're
go with
just
it.
accepting? Okay, we're just going with it. Okay, got it.
Yeah, we're just going with it. It's wonderful.
Huh?
it, it's
Never
it's
heard of it.
it's funny because I actually put it on. My daughter and I were in the living room, and I was really going to watch Dracula or something. We were going to
Sure.
watch Dracula. I was going to watch Dracula 2000, and I was like, she's not going to sit through that, and it's not for kids. So like, well,
Hmm.
what can we watch together? Marcel the Shell, and she walked away. I sat there for 2 hours, like a child, almost sitting in front of the TV. I was just sucked into it.
Huh? I'm gonna have to check that one out then.
Ian says, "What a movie!" Yes. Phil
Hmm.
agrees. Absolute gem of a movie. Cook says, "I didn't know it was on Paramount. I'm going to watch after this. It's so good. Let me know what you think about it after you watch it." Grab says, "My kids haven't heard me swear yet. I won't let them hear swearing from some on TV." Okay. What did I miss something?
I don't know. I think what are we talking about? It or Penny? It, I think.
Oh,
Is
I
that
know
what we're
it's
talking about with
Strays.
kids? Oh, Strays. That was it. Yeah.
Marcel the Shell with shoes on is family safe, by the way.
And so I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for it. Nominated for a bunch of awards. Best animated film.
Mm-hmm.
It's animated.
No, well, Marcel is animated.
Oh.
Think Roger Rabbit.
Ah. Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
All
Marcel is animated.
right.
Everything else is real. Oh, and his grandmother. Oh, Ian says
Who's
it's
criminal?
stop motion.
Hmm.
Is it stop motion?
That'd be neat.
Oh, okay. If it's stop motion, that's even better. It just
Hmm.
looked great. Like I didn't even question there's a talking shell in front of me.
Talking shell. All right. That's it. I'm gonna have to watch it then.
Ian says I didn't know whether I'd get into it at first, but man, the ending exactly.
Hmm.
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
People just kept telling me about it, and I just kept seeing it,
Okay.
but nobody explained what it actually is. So I just thought it was like an adventure. I thought it was gonna be like a Bug's Life, but with a shell. That's not
I
what it
like
is.
the name. I like the name of it. Marcel the Shell with shoes on.
Yeah, it's
Kind of a
cute.
yeah. It's kind of fun little name. All
He
right.
says
I'm
a
gonna
very
watch that
special
this week
movie.
then.
It wasn't promoted much. It was available digitally before many countries gave it theatrical release. Yeah, I don't even think we had it here in my area.
Those weird A24 movies, eh?
It is, yeah, but it's a good time.
Hmm. Okay.
That was the highlight of my watches, probably.
Nice. All right.
That's
I'm gonna
great
have to
stop
put that
motion
on.
if you think they're all real. Yeah, this would work for me. I thought it was CGI.
Hmm.
Does Marcel come out of his shell? I think he would die if he did. I don't know what he is exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just by his eyeball, we're not really sure what's inside that shell, eh?
I think
And you're
he's
not.
just a
It
shell.
sounds like you're not supposed to care.
We're not.
You're not supposed. To, yeah. It's more of a
Marcel will
story.
win you over immediately, though.
That's right. No matter what he is.
Right. What other kind of mutant is hidden in that shell, you will love it.
Yeah. Disfigured mutant in that
You
shell
could
with
be the
one eye.
toxic Avenger in that shell, and it will
That's
work.
what I was thinking with one eye. Yeah.
Yeah. Even the new version of him that's played by Tyrion. I can't remember his name right
Oh, yeah, Tyrion. Um, what the fuck's his name?
now. Lately, I
Oh, we're really
cannot.
bad with names today.
Yeah, I cannot remember things lately. I think I've just been overwhelmed by life recently, and it is not there anymore.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm looking it up because we do have the internet.
What is his name? Um,
Peter Dinklage.
Peter. Yeah,
New X Men just dropped with Marcel. What?
yeah. The mutant. He's a
Oh
mutant.
yeah. Yeah, he's part of X-Men Red probably.
Yeah. Krakoa
No.
coming back with Marcel.
Okay, I'd read that. Yeah,
Yes,
it's a twig thing.
you would. It's a twig thing.
Yep.
I like that.
I like cute stuff, I guess. I also like psychopaths and things.
Did you watch the newest episode of Only Murders?
I did not have time to.
Okay.
I will get to it though.
We'll talk about that next week then.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I'm curious. So you said it. You agreed with Ian earlier too. You think it's meh. You're not a fan of the episode.
Yeah, well, he thinks the whole season is. I think the latest episode is meh. It just, especially where the end of 3 led off with the White Room and everything that happened with Charles and his girlfriend, his fiance, that kind of stuff. It just, I don't know, wasn't the right speed, tempo in this episode than I expected. So, but we'll see. There's more to come.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'm excited to watch it. I just didn't have time this weekend. I also, when I did watch a series, I watched Ahsoka. So.
Yeah, Ahsoka's that was a beautiful episode. The 4th episode. You and I have been clamoring for lightsabers and Jedi stuff, and there was more of that than I could deal with. And in the 4th episode, and it was so good.
I'm okay with them even taking a break from the lightsabers in the 5th episode.
Yeah, like if exactly. If they take a break for the next episode, I'd be okay with that, considering like there was 3 separate duels in this one episode.
2 of them going on at the same time in the same area. That was a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you, but they did it just so well. And obviously the big reveal at the end is quite big. But I almost expected it to be coming just because they talked about it, over the last couple of episodes.
I expected that too, just because.
Yeah.
But it's all the lightsabers we can handle is great. I'm enjoying that part. It just I feel like this is some of the best lightsaber combat we've seen.
It's been really good.
Yeah, to me the top tier is the final fight in Empire. I think that is like the best lightsaber duel we've had. But these fights in Ahsoka are so well choreographed, and every movement is purposeful, and it just visually is so, I think, fantastic that I believe it's winning me over.
Well, and the one of the biggest problems that I have with the sequel trilogy is that no one knows how to use a lightsaber. Like Rey barely knows how to use hers. Kylo Ren's more of an aggressive lightsaber dueler. I thought the lightsaber battles were very clunky, and it was less like a sword fight and more like them just hitting each other with baseball bats.
You're just trying to hit something.
Exactly, but like in the stuff in like the prequel trilogy has very choreographed lightsaber duels.
Acrobatic stuff.
Exactly, and it's very timed and like because these are experts, these are Jedi at the height of the Jedi, right? And then with Ahsoka, Ahsoka's a true Jedi, and like the Balin and Shin, they were Jedi at one time, so they know how to use the lightsabers. Sabine is obviously a training to be a Jedi, or was training to be a Jedi, so like they know how to use the lightsaber, so that helps immensely. And makes it so much enjoyable when these people know what they're doing with the lightsaber, and it looks like a dance and it looks like a duel rather than just 2 people being very aggressive and whacking each other with these laser swords.
You said not this is it looks like a, I thought of the line from Batman Begins when Ray screams at Bruce, "This is not a dance."
Yeah. Yes, it is.
This is not a dance. But I agree with you. It's a difference between these guys know what they're doing compared to at least the sequel trilogy. And there's a finesse to it, and it just 100%. Looks so nice visually. It's good to have. We have these flavors of Star Wars, make them all different, and this feels like the flavor. Like I've said, it feels like the flavor I like the most. It's classic Star Wars.
It's very good. Really enjoying it.
Phil says these fights are well choreographed and as well as emotional. Agreed. Very reminiscent of the OT and sequel trilogy. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm getting out of it too. It has that certain feel. Grab says, this is where I disagree with Star Wars opinions. Great lightsabers does not make a great story. This isn't commentary on Ahsoka, but in general, I agree. That's true. They don't make a great story, but I just like seeing them. And if they can complement the story, perfect.
That's where I'm at too. I think it complements the story, even though like it still feels like I'm missing this rebel stuff. Like why do I like I don't understand Sabine caring so much about Ezra for her to make the decision that she made. They can tell me, I guess I get it if they tell me, but I don't know who this Ezra person is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it's such a big deal that they find this Ezra person. And even Thrawn, like I kind of had a general idea about Thrawn and who he is. Why is he such a big bad guy? I don't know what's he doing in the corner of space. What's going to happen when he comes back? They're going to tell me that bad things are going to happen, but it's just I don't know. I don't know who this character is and why it matters to this group of people. Why it matters to Hera and Sabine and Ahsoka. I don't have that connect. So I get that for story wise, but I think the quality of the show makes up for that slight little missteps that I'm having with the story.
We need to do the homework, I guess.
Yeah, no homework. We talked about it.
No homework, but just in case. Aaron says, for me, it's just okay. Ray Stevenson is saving for me. I'm loving Ray. I like Ray Stevenson anyway, and I think he's doing pretty good here. I actually think
my favorite character of the show.
This might be the hottest take of all, but I think he's the best Frank Castle still.
That's right. Warzone, right?
Yeah, I love Warzone. I think it's a blast. Ian says it has a great story and journey from Clone Wars and Rebels is some of the best storytelling in Star Wars. Well, I wouldn't know. No, but I've heard that. I've heard people are really excited about the connection and stuff. I think that's cool.
Sure.
It's a nice thing for the fans of those shows, and I think in Ahsoka particular, it doesn't leave us in the dark, but it still kind of leaves us with questions.
Questions, yeah.
Graham says, "Well, a comment about Ahsoka." I know we were just talking about it. Ahsoka, just a good example. The one about homework, no. Aaron said, "Facts, best Punisher." See,
I think the only thing I remember from Warzone is a guy jumping off a building.
That's the
and Frank Castle shooting a rocket at him and hitting the guy midair.
Well, there's also that, and there's the guy he puts on the fence spike with like I don't remember exactly how it went, but I think he was holding him and they jumped together, and Frank Castle like puts his knee on his back, and then, like his skull goes into the fence post or something. It's been a while. It's just ultra violent. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Check out Marcel the Show. Marcel the Show with no shoes on.
Yeah, that's right. Little yin and yang here. Punisher, Warzone, and Marcel.
But yeah, Ahsoka's been fun. I've been really enjoying. I'm looking forward to the next episode. I like that Disney's dropping them on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Central. That's pretty cool. But at the same time, that really sucks for the people who don't watch it at that time, because even Disney are letting the spoilers just fly.
I didn't see the big ending of 4 online, thankfully. I just heard a lot of people talking about how much they enjoyed the show, so I didn't see any of the big reveal, thankfully.
I saw a hint to it, but I didn't know that's what it was. I thought they were just using a clever GIF.
Sure.
But then the next day, Disney had the poster ready with the spoiler on it.
What that fucking posters that they do, Jesus.
Right, like give people some time to you know. Grabs fell asleep. He doesn't know how 4 ends.
We're not spoiling it.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. There are people who have not seen it yet. Yep. Next week.
Yeah. All right, Chris, anything else you want to talk about? Anything you're looking forward to checking out this week? What movies you got on your letterbox list to check out?
I would like to check out The Nun 2. There was something else. I can't remember what, though. There was something important that I wanted to say. Season 2 of The Newsreader with Sam Reed is out. I think I want to figure out how to watch that.
Oh, yeah, your boy, Sammy Reed, yeah.
I got to support him. So. I don't know how to watch it, though. I think it might be Australian television only right now.
Well, Aaron will stream it for you. You guys can do streaming.
Oh, yeah, we have a stream party. If Aaron wants to watch it. I don't know if he's into the newsreader. How about you? Anything you're excited about?
No, I'm going to check out The Pacific this week. Mutant Mayhem's on digital now, so I know my son wants to rewatch that again. But Barbie is also on digital, so me and my wife haven't seen that, so we want to get to that this week as well. See what all the hubbub's about.
Oh, Talk to Me is streaming at the end of the month. I wanted to see that too. That's the it's one of those the new. We got a bunch of horror movies in a span of a month.
Big time.
That's one of the ones I wanted to see.
Mm.
I'll watch that. And I think Barbie's Tuesday, right? Or is it already out?
It's ready now, where you can get some movies.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. You have friends in the industry.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for me. Comics, I don't know what's coming out this week. I thought that Gargoyle one was this week, but it looks like it's next week. I don't know if there's anything.
Phil says, "Talk to Me" is terrifyingly good.
Which one is that? Talk.
It's the one with the hand. That's all. The poster is this creepy hand, which is ironic because the 90s saying "talk to me."
Oh, this one. Oh, yeah, I saw it for a trailer when I saw Oppenheimer, I think. I think that's this one. Maybe it's not. A new group of friends discover to capture spirits using an embalmed hand. They become hooked onto the new thrill until one of them goes too far.
Is it just a hand?
Super. That's what it says. Yeah, it's.
Why would you keep just the hand?
It looks like it's up to here. I'm watching the trailer quick. So.
Okay. Well, that sounds fun. Bill says Barbie Tuesday for the rest of us. Those of us who don't have friends in the industry, I suppose.
That's right. The rest.
Aaron says wife went to the same school as the directors of Talk to Me. Zeddy wants to know if that was Ken enough for you. Zeddy was pretty quiet during the stream. I guess him and Sasha are out eating or something, and he just had his own.
They're fighting. It's the divorce. That's what it is, Chris. They're fighting. And she's saying, quit it.
No.
Stop telling people we're together. We broke up months ago.
I don't think so. Aaron said he's waiting for Daredevil #1 this week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, another Daredevil #1, eh?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I know there was another #1. I guess because Chip is gone, right?
I thought he was still doing this one.
I thought he left Daredevil. Crab said she came to her fictional senses.
That's right.
Sasha, I never fight. I agree with everything she said. There it is. There it is.
All right, Chris. Hit us up with some plugs then.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at thatchris70. You can also follow the podcast I do with my buddies Bill Walsh and Anthony Caruso over at DC Unlimited Pod. We just had our Blue Beetle review. That was a good time. And then, of course, I would love it if you follow this show at G and the Geeks. Emmet is usually better with all the other plugs, so he'll take over.
Gathering of the right. You can follow me at EmmettDavis7 on Twitter. Gathering of the Geeks is available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Just search Gathering of the Geeks and you will find us. I want to say thanks to Grabs and Comic Guy Steve, or I think just Grabs for the name of the show. Has something to do with the NFL season. I'm in an NFL pool with those guys. That's pretty much it. I was typing out the name and said, you know what? It's Sunday. I think football season, Sunday, blah, blah, blah. There you go. So thanks to Grabs, Phil, Cookie, Aaron, Zeddy, Eric, Ian. Thanks for watching on this fine Sunday evening. And you guys have a good week, and we will talk to you later. And in saying all that, for Chris and I'm Emmet, and we gather on Sundays.
Have a great week, guys.